everyone, welcome to today's full day of eating video. So, non-training day for me, going to go through everything I eat and the calories that I try to hit. First thing this morning, do my non-training day cardio. I don't always do it fasted. I think I do prefer it, wakes me up a little bit more, so I think I do prefer doing it fasted to just fed state throughout the day. So 30 minutes, 130 to 150 beats per minute on the cross trainer. So about 70% of max heart rate. Then I do 3 sets of calf raises and 3 sets of some ab crunches. And now I'm going to go and grab my non-training day food. So we're back now from the gym. I've showered and I have prepped meal 1. So I'm going to go through every meal that I have today, the calories, the macros included, how I hit my targets, why my targets are there, etc, etc, etc. First of all, the time is 8:42. So this is when I'm having my meal 1. First meal will vary depending on the day and depending on how busy my morning is. So today, for some reason, well, for people being away, clients being away, I've got the whole morning off. I've got the whole day off until 6 PM. Off from one-to-one clients. That doesn't mean I have time off. I've still got a lot of work to be doing online. But this free morning means that I can eat a little bit later than I normally would if I've got clients from 8 some mornings. Then obviously I have to eat a little bit earlier, get my first meal in a little bit earlier. Calories are going to be at 3,450 today, so they'll be on the screen here. 3,450 calories, protein 210, carbs 450, fats 90. Okay, so carbs are lower on a non-training day because we don't need to utilize carbs as much as we're not training. I don't need as much energy. And fats are a little bit higher just to get a wider variety of essential fatty acids across the week, seeing as they're pretty low on a training day. Okay, so time for meal 1, 8:45, and I'll go through it now. Okay, so here it is, meal 1. We've got 3 whole eggs and 3 egg whites, and then that's just seasoned with pink salt, pepper, cumin and paprika and a little bit of garlic as well. Then we've got 1 hot cross bun from Aldi with 30 grams of jam on there in total. We've also got 1 medium-sized banana, and then just the morning subs, we've got ashwagandha, 3 omega-3 tablets and 1 digestive enzyme. Okay, so calories and macros for the meal are here. We've got protein at 37, carbs 82 and fats at 15. So something really simple. Obviously, like I say, I'm increasing my fats on a non-training day. I just add more egg yolks. So it's not much different to my training day breakfast. On my training day, I have 8 egg whites and 1 yolk, so less fats. I also have 2 of the hot cross buns, so more carbs. Still have the banana. The reason I'm having the carbs now is just to basically get a decent sized breakfast in so that I've got energy throughout the day. Then my next 2 meals are just pro-fat meals or just pro-veg meals, and then we carb backload at the end of the day, which we'll go over. But this is the first meal, this is the starting point. I can't stress enough the importance of being hydrated as well. So I say this to all my clients, so literally I've preached it since I stopped drinking Pepsi Max all the time and started drinking water all the time, and I literally just felt 100 times better. This was when I was like 18. Ever since then I've made sure that I drink so much water all the time, so I just feel loads more energetic, I feel fresher all the time, my skin is better. I literally can't go over enough how important it is to stay hydrated in terms of just how you'll feel, how you'll look, how you'll perform in the gym, out of the gym, just everything. So yeah, drink enough water. Okay, so it's like 9 o'clock and I've already had a full one of these, which is 2 litres. I aim to have minimum 2. I usually have about 3 of those a day, so I usually aim for about 6 litres, but minimum 4 litres. But yeah, can't stress enough how much it'll make you feel better. So if you're not already drinking a lot of water, then try to implement it now. Okay, so it's a few hours later now. Time is 12:08 and meal 2 is going in. So we've got 120 grams of chicken and then we've got 250 grams of the veg mix that I made up earlier this morning. So within the veg mix, we've literally just got spinach, tomatoes, red onion, peppers, and mushrooms. When it comes to veg, I don't track it meticulously. I do track it to an extent. If anything, I overestimate. But because the calories within vegetables, dependent on the vegetable, but within most vegetables, especially these ones, are so low, I don't track it meticulously to the calorie, because I know that it's not really going to make too much of a difference to the end of the day calorie intake. But calories for this meal are going to be here on the screen. So meal 2, we've got 238 calories, 24 gram of carbs, 2 gram of fats, and 34 grams of protein. So I thought I would quickly go over how I actually do my YouTube thumbnails, if anyone cares. Because I don't use Photoshop or anything like that. I don't use anything that costs money. So I use an app here called Collageable, and basically all I do is, depending on how many photos I want on the thumbnail, I'll click on the template, and then I adjust the screen to this size, so 16 by 9, because that's like similar size to what a thumbnail will be, and it fits perfectly. And then I just choose the photos that I want to go in there. So I'm gonna have this one on the right, and then I'm gonna have one of me from the other day. We'll go that one. Okay, then once I've got to this point, I'll save it, and then I go on to Instagram. Okay, then basically all I do is just upload like what writing I want, so like in this case the title of the video, and then upload any emojis if I want, and then that's literally it. I'll just save this and then I upload it to my laptop. Then what I do is I use Adobe Spark, so I've uploaded it onto my laptop, and then to make sure it actually works in terms of a thumbnail format, I go onto Adobe Spark and then literally just save it in this format and then just upload it straight like that. Now don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm preaching how to do thumbnails like this. It's probably, there's hundreds of methods that you could do it probably better. But this is free, and I guess mine are okay. I know they're not amazing thumbnails, but it does the job. So yeah, that's how I do it. So I'm back from the sunbed now. I like to make sure I can get on there on my non-training days. I just do 10 minutes. Main reason I do it is to basically it makes my skin a little bit better, and also obviously with a tan your physique can look a little bit better. But no, I enjoy it, and a lot of people are sort of anti-sunbeds, but I enjoy it. And if you know, I guess it's that kind of pick your poison thing where, you know, I don't do any drugs, I don't really drink any alcohol, I don't smoke, nothing like that. So I guess sunbeds is my my poison. Okay, so meal 3 now. Calories and macros are on screen up here. So we've got 464 calories, 14 grams of carbs, 23 grams of fats, and 50 grams of protein. So pro-fat meal here, with the salmon getting a lot of essential fatty acids in, and it's a really enjoyable meal actually. Obviously on training days, I have 3 training days in a row eating the same, so I do look forward to my non-training day nutrition, especially this meal. Very nice. So the salmon, we've got 2 fillets, and then we've just got a big serving of the veg again that I made this morning. All I do with the salmon is just chuck it in the pan, salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of garlic, leave the lid on for 10 to 15 minutes and then they're bang on, skin side down. Also on training day I have my EAAs, so I've got 15 grams of EAAs in here and 5 grams of creatine, so I don't forget to take my creatine on a non-training day. So yeah, that's everything. Get this down and I'll get on with some more work. So here's where I like to do my steps. So me and Shannon come on a lot of walks here, just down the canal. It takes about 20 minutes, so it's perfect time. You know, sometimes I'll do it as my morning steps, sometimes I'll do it as my evening steps. Today, due to the fact that I've not had a busy day with clients, so I've been sat doing a lot of my online work, my steps are obviously quite low. So I have a step goal of 10 to 12,000 steps per day. At the minute they're at about 1,500 and we're at about 4 o'clock. So not very good, hence why I've come out. Another reason that I have actually come outside is due to sunlight. So obviously I've been on the sunbed, doesn't quite have the same effect as actually being out in the day in the sunlight. So obviously I've been sat inside all day with sort of blue light just from my kitchen, because that's where I do my work, sit in my like kitchen living area. And the actual daylight like this can be like 100-fold the strength of that light, and knowing that our circadian rhythm works heavily on light, I need to get out in the day as often as I can to ensure that I ultimately have the most efficient sleep possible. So you'll know it as well for a fact. You know, let's say in the winter months where when I used to work in retail, I'd get up, go to work and it'd be pitch black, and then I'd work in the dark all day at work. When I used to work in that delivery at Next, so it'd work like upstairs and it would just be dark, there's no windows, and like it was like slavery. And then on my way home it was like 6 o'clock and it was dark again, so I'd literally seen no daylight throughout the winter months. And I always used to feel it, not to the level where I was depressed, not at all, but I was just down a lot more, my sleep wasn't as good, and I'm sure a lot of people will have felt the same, in the winter months when you just literally live in the dark constantly, and the only light you get is indoor artificial light. You just don't feel like you do in the summer, hence why people get those sad lamps and for seasonal affective disorder, and that kind of thing, because that's to try and sort of counteract the darkness of the winter months and actually still replicate sunlight that you would get in the summer months. Obviously on top of that you've got vitamin D, so the fact that I'm out in the sun trying to get a little bit more vitamin D, as I don't supplement it at the minute, just due to the fact I think I've spoke about before, where as long as we can get enough sunlight we don't really need to supplement it. It's a little bit unnecessary, hence why I'm outside. But yeah, other than that, it's just nice to come out and move a bit. When a lot of your work is online, I don't have a standing desk, so I am sat for a lot of the day, and it's just nice to come out and make the most of it, and it's lovely down here as well. Another thing I thought I'd quickly touch on as well, when I do go on these walks I try to listen to a podcast or listen to some sort of informative content every time that I'm doing these, just so I feel like I'm actually getting, other than getting the steps in and getting the daylight and that kind of thing, I'm also getting being productive in terms of learning and investing into my own education at the same time. It's the same sort of reason that whenever I eat my meals, I'm usually watching a YouTube video or some sort of informative content, just to make the most of the time when I can't really work because I'm eating. So today's podcast is the Revive Stronger podcast. The guest is Danny Lennon from Sigma Nutrition, that's talking about sleep and nutrition, and I enjoy it, to be fair, because it makes you again feel like you're actually being productive with your time and making the most of it. I'm going to get one over. I didn't get one over. Alright, I'm going to stop talking now. I'll see you back at home for meal number 4. So we are on to the first of the high carb meals, so the first of the carb loading meals towards the end of the day now. So the time is 5:30. So calories and macros will be on screen here. So we've got 924 calories, 128 grams of carbs, 25 grams of fats, and 40 grams of protein. So meals have been spread out evenly throughout the day between 2.5 to 3.5 hours between each meal, and that's just to make sure that we're maximising protein synthesis with a decent amount of protein servings throughout the day. I aim for 20 to 40 grams per serving, because in the research that's what we know we need. A couple of times I'm a little bit over that, but it's not to worry. I like to cover my bases, I guess, and have a little bit more. But I'll get this down me, then I've got some evening clients, and then the last meal, meal 5, which will be an hour or so before bed. So calories and macros for the last meal will be here. So we've got 1,252 calories, 207 grams of carbs, so a lot of carbs, 24 grams of fats, and 52 grams of protein. So like I said, a massively sort of carb backload on these days. I get a large influx of carbs to then carry over to my training day tomorrow, so training pool tomorrow, hence why I've got a huge amount of carbs in the evening. And at the minute I'm still weighing in the same pretty much every day, so how my nutrition is set up seems to be bang on, and still progressing in the gym. And then obviously when I start to plateau in the gym and I feel like I need to push weight, then I just increase the quantities of the foods that I've already got in the minute, primarily through carbs. At the minute I'm feeling okay digestion wise. I've had to the point before where I push carbs up so high that my digestion just goes, it's dreadful, and I have some quite bad issues, and my stomach hurts all the time. But at the minute it's okay. I think my choice of carbs are good, and also that digestive enzyme in the morning seems to have helped. So everything at the minute is going pretty well. Right then guys, I'm just going to wrap the video up now. It is the next morning. So I finished yesterday on 212 grams of protein, 455 grams of carbs, and 90 grams of fat. So bang on the fats, 5 gram over on the carbs, and just 2 gram over on the protein. That equates to 3,478 calories. Obviously I'm aiming for 3,450, so slightly over, obviously due to a little bit over on the protein and the carbs, but happy with that. Just be aware when using MyFitnessPal there are some slight inaccuracies. So MyFitnessPal has calculated it as 3,459, but when you add those macros up it is 3,478. So obviously it's only 19 off, so it's not too much to worry about, but just be aware of that. Obviously I'm not expecting everyone to consume as many calories as me. I am in the gaining phase at the minute. I'm gaining weight very, very gradually, and I'm progressing in the gym, so everything with my nutrition and my macro split at the minute is going well. But I don't expect everyone to be on that amount of food. Obviously your nutrition needs to be tailored to you and in line with your goals. However, you can obviously use sort of the principles that I've used today and just look at things in different quantities. So obviously like things like having higher fats on non-training days, things like carb backloading to carry over to the next day. Those principles are good and should sort of be used as best as you can to make sure that you're getting the most out of your nutrition that you can. Again, it's going to depend on the level of the person. Obviously, if you're just a general population person who just wants to look a little bit better, things like nutrient timing aren't the most important thing. But if you're going to compete, or if you're really focusing on optimizing everything, then nutritional timing you should look at, as well as like macronutrient breakdown and those kind of things. If you're looking to implement the similar foods to me, obviously if you're like, let's say you're on 2,000 calories and that's your sort of your gaining phase calories, if you're a smaller person, if you're less active, those kind of things, then obviously just look at reducing the quantities. So I could easily manipulate my things around today, my foods, to the point where I might be in a fat loss phase. So I could just reduce the fats by taking out the dark chocolate, or reducing the fats by taking out some of the salmon and replacing it for something like a lean mince. I could take loads of carbs out by taking out the hot cross bun in the morning. I could take the oats down a hell of a lot. So it's easy to just manipulate it. Take honey out of meals. So it's all to do with food periodization. So if you're in a gaining phase, you want to be looking at foods that are going to sit well, that digest easily, that aren't overly filling, that are quite high calorie but low volume. and then vice versa, if you're in a fat loss phase, you want to be looking at the opposite, so foods that are really filling and quite low calorie, so high volume, low calorie. So just something to take into account. You know, don't just stick with the same food choices all the time and think, oh, I can't eat more of that. You know, you don't have to. You look at other higher calorie alternatives. And then the same with, you know, if you go into a fat loss phase, you think, oh, I can't eat any less. Like, you don't necessarily need to eat less. You can eat more volume, just less calories. So again, it all comes down to education and just actually having a bit of dedication and hard work and planning, and then you'll be fine. But yeah, I'll leave the video there. Thank you all for watching, as always. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd appreciate that, and also I'd appreciate if you could like the video. That'd be great, guys. Share it on your Instagram stories if anyone watches it. That'd be really, really good, thank you. And I will see you all in the next video.